I am chatting with the handsome and talented Mr. John McGuigan, expert dog trainer and behavioural consultant, who is a fascinating chap and is very, very good at helping people get their furry friends to be obedient and do what the human wants, although that's still a debatable goal, in a very, very short space of time. Good evening, John.
Hi,
Hi. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. How are you?
Very well. How are you? I'm very well, indeed. Now, we were talking briefly earlier on, and the topic we're going to be covering tonight specifically, you say accounts for almost a third of your working time with clients.
Yeah, it will
Yeah,
account
it will
for,
account
there's
for.
about, I would say there's about a third or so of the appointments that have some element of the dog not coming back to them when called.
Okay, so tonight, at least a third. Okay, so tonight we're talking about recall. We're talking about get your dog to actually come back to you when you ask it to. Now, just to explain, John does a lot of dog training, both on an individual basis, one-to-one with clients, and also in group seminars and training courses, and is often asked to speak all over the world at other dog training seminars. So this man knows what he's talking about. You've now been working with dogs for how long?
8 years now,
8 years now. 8 years.
professionally.
Fantastic. And you have a ferocious following on YouTube and Facebook, and I really enjoy what you do. This is the second of four webinars that we're talking about different topics, maybe even five. And last time was fascinating, so I'm keen to see what you're going to hit us with today. So we're talking about recall. So give me what do people come to you complaining about? How do they bring this up as a topic?
It will generally be that
It'll
the
generally
dog
be that
will come back
the
off when they let them off
lead
at the
when they let
park.
them off the lead at the park.
So the dog
Okay.
will run up
So the
towards
dog
other
will run up
dogs, towards other people,
towards other
or
people,
will take off towards
towards
squirrels, rabbits,
squirrels,
birds,
rabbits.
you know,
And the owner,
the items.
the owner's just shrieking and screaming to no effect in the background. Brilliant. And ultimately, how does this pan out? Where does this ultimately end up?
Well, when they come
Well,
after they come to
when
me, it's just going
they come
through the
after they come,
process
just
with them
through the process
and explaining to them
and
that
explain to them that
you have to have something that the dog
you have to have
wants,
something that
and
wants.
there used to be
There used to
the
be
common thing.
the common
There's a little bit of feedback here, which
a
is
little
why
bit
some
of
of
feedback
my
here, which is why some of my
language is stunted. Okay, so I'm hearing
stunted. Okay,
myself
so
coming
I'm
back
hearing
through it,
myself
so
coming
just
back
bear
to
with me.
so here, but
Um, the common thing
the
used to be
common thing
that
we would have
we would have to be more
have to be
interested in
more
everything
interested in
else that was going on in
everything
the environment,
in
and
the environment, and
that's common information
common
that's out there, that
information
you
that's out
have to
there.
be the
You have
most
to be the
interesting
most
thing to your
interesting
dog.
thing to your
I think
I
that's an
think that's
impossible
an
task.
impossible task.
I think for if you own a
Therefore, if
beagle,
you own a beagle,
an owner is not going to
owner
be
is
more
not going to
interested
be
in
more
your beagle
interested
going
in
hunting for
your beagle
rabbits. It's
hunting for
just not
rabbits.
going
It's
to
just
happen.
not going to happen.
But you can teach
But
the
you can
beagle
teach the
that
beagle that
the access to the hunt will
access to
come
the
through
hunt.
me. We will do the hunting
We will
together,
do the
or
hunt
we will
together,
not do
or
it
we will
at this
do it
time, and
this
your
time,
dog can
and your
learn the
dog can
difference.
learn the difference.
So the
So the
people come to me and they'll
people
ask me
come to
to
me and
have
they'll ask me to have
uh, it's just that horrible
just that
feedback,
horrible
Jonathan. I
feedback.
apologise.
Turn your volume
The
down.
okay,
Might
it's a
make
little
it,
bit
there'll be
better.
a level you'll hit. Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I said for me. Just make it lower for you so you're not hearing it as loudly.
okay. So people will come to
So
me and they'll
people will come
ask
to me and
for
they'll ask
to get their dog
to
back
get
when they
their
call
dog
them,
back when they call
and
them,
we help
and
resolve
we
that.
help resolve that.
And it's
And
basically
it's
building
basically building
more of a relationship between you and your
relationship
dog,
between
building
you
a
and your
greater
dog, building a
reinforcement
greater
history between you and your
relationship
dog.
between you and your dog.
So the dog
So
wants
the
to come
dog
back to you
wants to come
because
back to
you're
you because
a
you're
fun person
a
to
fun
be with.
person to be
So
with.
either
So either
good things
good
happen when
things
you come
happen
back to mum or
when you come back
dad's,
to mum or
play
dad's,
happens,
play
food
happens,
happens,
food
big belly
happens,
rubs
big
happen,
belly rubs happen,
or access to other
access
cool
to other
things in the
cool things in the
environment
environment
happens through you.
happens
So if the
through you.
dog wants to go and
So
see
if the
another
dog wants
dog,
to go to another
call
dog,
them back first and
come
then
back
take them
first
to
and then
see the other
take
dog
them
or
to see the
person.
other dog or person.
So all the
So all
cool
the
things
cool,
and the good
cool
things that the
things and
dog
the good
likes
things
to
the dog
see
likes to see
and the
and
environment
the
are
environment
accessed
are
through us. So we're
accessed
the
through us. So
gatekeeper
we're the
effectively.
gatekeeper. I think that's a really profound distinction that you just made in the first sentence, which was you need to be more interesting than the thing it's set its target on. I think that
Yeah.
that right there is news to me, you know. So we've got a little video lined up here. What we're going to see in this first video?
So in the first one, we're
So in the
just doing
first
some
one, we're just doing
foundation
some
work.
foundation
If
work.
you just play that one,
Just
Jonathan.
put that one down.
Okay, through this. So this is Debbie and Rocky. Rocky's a bullhold.
That's all right. That's okay. Just give him a wee second. Lovely. I would reinforce that. That's beautiful.
Asking Debbie to reinforce any engagement that Rocky has with her.
Perfect. That's lovely, Debbie. Beautiful.
So if we play that one again.
Okay.
You see here is that there's the couple approach with the copper spaniel. We slow down and stop. Rocky checks in with us, and then we reinforce them with a little bit of food.
It's okay. That's all right. That's okay. Just give him a wee second. That's all right. That's okay. Lovely. I would reinforce that. That's beautiful. Lovely. I would reinforce That's all right. That's okay. That's all right. That's okay. Just give him a wee second. Lovely. I would reinforce that. That's beautiful. Perfect. That's lovely, Debbie. Beautiful.
Reinforce them again and then start walking on. So these are the foundation. This is the part. They take their dog out to the park and they let the dog walk without doing any work with them prior to that. If you spend just a little bit of time and you take your dog out to the park, getting your dog to engage with you, and then move and closer towards other things in the environment. We used to call them distractions. So things that would distract the dog from their attention, people, other dogs, footballs, bikes, scooters, all that kind of thing that the dog would find interesting. You move backwards and forwards, and when the dog engages with you, you reinforce that. So if we do a little bit of foundation at the start, it reaps massive rewards, whereas what most people do is they take their dog out to the park, let the dog off the lead, give them free access to people, dogs, all the cool stuff, and then wonder why they can't get the dog back, because the only time they'll call their dog back is at the end of the walk. So the dog has then learned that back to dad's, I get clipped on the lead and taken home. So there's now no incentive for the dog ever to come back for you.
Okay, so it looked like in that first video there was another dog
approaching, yeah. Okay, why we've stalled 2 seconds.
Hang on, we've got a time lag here, hold on. Right, sorry about that. So it looked like in that video that you the other dog was coming along, so you deliberately got the owner's dog to stop, sit down, and pay more attention to the client than the other dog.
He offered the sit, so the sitting isn't important, which we can talk about in a bit, but the sitting's not crucial. Rocky likes to sit because Debbie's previously reinforced it a lot. So he offered that, but she didn't. It's not necessary. It's just necessary. All that we're looking for is your dog to engage with you, and that dog's coming. And we start off really easy. So if we play the next video, I think there's another couple of them in the same session.
I'm actually struggling to get that video up. The link's not. Oh, here we go. Got it now. Right, let me just. I'm doing a lot of copying and pasting in the background. Hold on a second. These shortened links aren't working, so I'm having to get the actual link off of YouTube. Didn't like that. Hold on. Right, so the link is playing on YouTube. I might have to just share my screen. Hold on. Let me just share my screen. I'm going to have to share my screen to show this video. It doesn't like it for some reason, so I'm going to have to do a screen share and actually play it on my desktop so that you can see it. Right, so if I just move back over to the YouTube. You see the video now?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah. Now, what's interesting in this video is you see Rocky starting to lag behind a little bit away from Debbie, and all Debbie does is she just holds him in the lead to say to him that what we've just come from is past. Okay, so it's about actually restricting him a little bit. So we've done the same again. The dog's approaching, she engages with him. You see out here, he just becomes interested in something that's on the ground. And Debbie continues to walk in. Now just there, all she does is prevent him from moving any further back. And then he comes up again and she walks on.
Okay. Okay, so again, that was interesting in that it looked like you had the other dog became the distraction. So it was immediately get the dog's attention and reward the dog with something to eat, so that's more important than that. So you're conditioning this over a number of repetitions, I presume.
Yeah. There's a couple of things there, just with the nomenclature that you're using. What we do is we ask for the dog to give us the attention. We don't get the dog's attention.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So the way that we teach is it's for a cooperative approach between you and your dog. So there's sometimes you absolutely will get your dog's attention. But what we want to do is we want to have the dog willingly offer his attention. Okay.
Okay.
Now, with this as well, the dog just now. If your dog has a poor recall, generally another dog in the environment is a signal for your dog to go and play with that dog. Okay.
Right.
And the dog is then reinforced for going to play with that dog by having a good time with other dogs.
Yeah.
So when we use the long lines just now at the early stages, what we say to the dog is, there's a dog there, I'm going to prevent you from going to see it. But when you check in with me, I will play with you, I will do something good. Okay. And over a number of repetitions, the dog now becomes a signal. The other dog in the environment becomes a signal for the dog, for your dog to check in with you. And then we can reinforce that with a variety of things, either with our own food or play, going to sniff, or we can then say to the dog, we can go and play with him. Okay. So the dog checks in with you and effectively asks for permission. And you say, yeah, on you go, pal. You know, and you can go and play with that dog.
Okay. Yeah.
The dog itself, signals can be anything the dog perceives. A signal for a behaviour can be anything that the dog perceives. A smell, a sight, a sound. So a whistle can be a recall cue. You shouting your dog's name and asking him to come can be a recall cue. Clapping your hands can be a recall cue. The search and rescue dogs finding the person who's buried in the snow is very often depending on what system that we're using to train a search and rescue dog. That is the signal for your dog to run back to the handler and alert them that there's somebody in the snow. So the thing in the environment can be a signal for any behaviour. We just need to train that. Okay. And we're seeing there with Rocky, he checks in, he sees the dog, checks in with mum, sees the dog, checks in with mum. And what we did at the start with him was we just allowed him to look at the dog from a distance. And when he turned around and checked in, we would then reinforce that. And you do that multiple times. And the multiple times we're talking is probably dozens and dozens. You know, but those don't take very often. You could do it in the park for 40 minutes and you could see 30 or 40 dogs, depending on where you go. If you're doing that 3 or 4 times a week, at the end of a couple of weeks, you've got dozens and dozens of repetitions anyway. You know, so you can get good practice at this and quite quickly. You know, but the problem that we have is that people give their dogs unrestrained access to other dogs and people in the park from an early age. And we end up fighting against that reinforcement history. The dog has already learned that all this stuff is really cool and that we're boring. Whereas we want to flip that in its head and say that other stuff is boring, the good stuff happens.
That's okay, I like that. Okay, cool. So, next video?
Yep.
What happens in this one? You want to tee this up or just go for it?
Yep, on you go. I think this is the Vizsla. Oh no, in fact, this is a little bit more advanced with Rocky.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, so what we're doing in this video here is Debbie moves towards Lindsay, who's holding the bag of treats. And we're just using the treats as an example. This is just to set this up. Gives Rocky a touch walking. I mean, you see how Debbie engaged with him the whole time. She walks away, looks over her shoulder and invites him in. He comes back towards us. We mark it with a click, and then we take it back. Sorry, take Rocky back and give him each treat. Okay, she's going to do the same again. So Debbie doesn't have any food or toys on her here. But what she's teaching Rocky is, come with me and the good things happen. And Rocky's learning a good skill set here that we could effectively substitute Lindsay, who's the dark-haired woman, with another dog or a person. And he'll start coming with her when she asks. Just trying a different direction.
That's really interesting. So, summarise that for me again. What was the process there that we were seeing? Okay,
so Debbie, who's Rocky's person, does not have food or toys on her at that point. Lindsay, who's used to work with us, she has the food. Now, this isn't about the food, it's about Rocky leaving something cool to go with Mum who doesn't have anything. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Alright, so we can then practice this and transfer it into other sorts of situations. So Lindsay's holding a bag of treats. Rocky comes up and looks for her, doesn't get any. Debbie walks away, calls him in, he comes back to her, and we tell him he's a good lad, and then we take him back and we give him the treats that we've just left. Okay. So he basically has to leave something good in order to get something good.
Right, so that importance is gradually shifting then from one thing to another. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So with training, we can now substitute Lindsay for another dog or for a person. You can basically say to Rocky, you don't need to bother about him, the good stuff will happen here. It might not happen here immediately, it could happen here in a few seconds, but I'll take you back and I'll greet you in person. But it gets Rocky checking in all the time with Mum and saying, what are we doing? It gets him looking for direction, and because he's a big chunk of a dog, I mean, he must weigh 70 or 80 kilos or something like that. It's huge, you know. So, and that you see there with him, that is done on a slack lead, or with Debbie not holding the lead. So the lead's just there as she uses a barrier effectively. Decides, I'm going to run off. I'm just going to stop him. We can't do that just now. Okay. Just giving him a little bit of a boundary.
Okay, that's fascinating. Alrighty. So what do we have? We have another video?
Yeah.
This is number 4 in your list, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's share this.
So we'll watch this one first and then we'll go back over.
Okay.
You stop a second. Lovely, blue ball. Nice.
Okay. Talk us through that.
Okay.
Yep.
So the owner there, the blonde woman, she's got a young dog. She moves towards, so you see as she starts to walk towards the right-hand side of the screen, there's people walking up the path there. So she walks far enough and then starts to slow down. Now, very often with a dog, if you've got some semblance of connection with them, they will be aware that you stop. Okay. So she slows down and stops. That then encourages her dog to slow down and stop. And he slows down and slows to stop, turns around, checks in with her, and then she throws the ball for him in the opposite direction, away from the people. Okay. And he runs and gets that ball. Okay. So what that dog likes to do is he likes to run around and chase things. Okay. And we're giving him the opportunity to chase something in the presence of something which is not to be chased. Just keep running other dogs.
Yeah.
So if we just watch that again.
I like your fiendish mind. So do you design these up front? Do you design these scenarios up front, or are these a kind of standard thing you've developed over the years?
So with it really, all that I look at is the science of behaviour change is lawful, okay, and as long as we can apply it well, then in a second. So you see how she walks forward here, slows down and stops, pauses, comes on in front of them, and she throws the ball. That gives them an opportunity to chase something. Okay. So all these things, whether that's what that dog does, is he likes to run and chase things. So we're giving him an opportunity to run and chase something. With Rocky, he likes to spend time with mum and eat food. So we use that as a reinforcer. I've seen a couple of videos time. The dog that we're working with there likes to play tug. Okay. So that's what we use there. Okay. So each time is basically the same thing. The antecedent, the cue, or what's going on in the environment is the people, the dogs, the smells. The behaviour is check in with me, and the consequence is get something good, which is going to make the recall more likely again the next time. And the formula is formulaic, but the application of it is where experience in your art form comes into it.
Yeah.
And it's then judging, because the motivation can change in a second. The dog might be happy to take food from you when there's no dogs around, but as soon as a dog appears, you might prefer to run and chase something. So it's known what reinforcer to use at what time.
And you're also utilising the dog's existing preferences in the first place.
Yeah.
So if it likes to run around and chase things, then you want to incorporate that effectively into your intervention.
Yeah. And what we're also doing as well is we're also starting to build in some sort of robustness into the dog that you will not always be able to chase what you want to chase. So with my little dog, she used to, for her recall stuff around other dogs, all the time it was see a dog, chase the ball, see a dog, chase the ball, see a dog, chase the ball. But there was then some times when we were doing other training with her, or she would be walking in the lead with her through the park or along the street. If she saw another dog, she couldn't. So we would then say to her, can't do that just now, you're actually just going to have to walk with me. Okay, but we're starting to get a slightly different topic away from recall.
Okay, so next video.
Okay, so same dog, and this is just a few minutes later.
Okay.
So a couple of dogs off, I think there's 2 or 3 off-lead dogs coming in, yeah. So we give her access, he plays with the other dog, and then at the right time, when she's disengaging, that's when we call her and throw the ball. Lovely. Yeah.
Okay. So that's like the best of both worlds.
Just prior to this session, would not have left those dogs.
Right.
Just to continue to play, but because we made mum and dad interested and engaging and fun to be with, and we didn't stop her from going to see those other dogs. We said, you can go and say hi, it's now your choice. And she made a good choice there, and then we reinforced that with more engagement with us. And that was her essence. That was within a space of 40 odd minutes, we got a dog who was seeing other dogs and would make a beeline for them to disengaging from other dogs and coming back from us. And that's just the start of it. But you can see how very, very quickly doing the right things and applying the science well that we get that result.
And it was very much like that. It was like the dog was just sort of going, "Hi, how you doing? Do you enjoy the walk in the park too?" And then off it went, you know. That's really good.
She just ran into the other dog, nosed around her, and then she disengaged and came back.
Yeah, so the dog's happy because it's getting everything it wants. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we're also doing there is what we do with the client is I teach them to watch their dog, to look out for these signals of the dog re-engaging with them, because very, very, very often the dog will check in with us, and we want to be on top of that and be ready. But what happens is that people will look at the dog or look at the other dog while this is going on, you know, whereas we want to be paying attention to our dog. If we want our dog to pay attention to us, we need to pay attention to him or her.
Or stare at their phone.
Exactly.
And miss the cues.
So that happened this morning. I was out at the park this morning and I was working with a big dog, super friendly American Bulldog, but big and boisterous and bouncy, and this German Shepherd came tearing in from nowhere. And when I looked up, the guy was walking down the path on his phone with his dog 100 yards away from him, completely oblivious, you know.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, that's not safe, actually. You know, it's not safe to not know where your dog is.
Yeah. You're not connected. The connection's broken because you're not even paying attention.
Absolutely.
Cool. Absolutely. Okay. Would you like the next video, sir?
Okay. This is first session with this thing. Oh, this puppy.
And again. Good fun again. Give him a second here. You've not seen this dog yet.
So the puppy goes and says hi to the wee dog. Ideally, we should have the puppy in a harness here, but we only had a collar on. So if we're using a long line, we should have the dog in a harness. Says hi to the wee dog.
As soon as he disengages here, just come up and stand next to him, and as soon as he disengages, be ready to give him a treat. Good boy, good lad, yay, good boy. And again, and again.
So you see, it's just exactly the same as we did with Rocky and the same as we did with Glasgow as well. Let's go back and say hi again, and we just let him.
That's all right.
Do a little bit here just to prevent him from leaving. This is why he needs to be harnessed so that he's not grabbing his neck.
He disengages here. And a boy, good lad.
And he makes a choice there that the food's not what he wants, he actually wants a little bit more distance from the dog.
Just wait for him here, okay?
Okay, so he has a look.
That's not available to you. Okay, the dog's away. Yeah, good boy!
Okay, and when he takes off there after the dog and we prevent him from doing that, that's actually teaching him from an early age that you can't get everything that you want all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
How
builds resilience in him.
puppy?
He's probably like 14 or 15 weeks.
Wow. Wow, so young. Okay.
And if people did that from the get-go with their puppies, you would have much better recall. But what happens is people take their dogs out, and in the name of socialising their dog, they give their dog unfettered access to people and dogs. And what they're effectively doing there is building a massive tray in the dog's life that people and dogs are really cool and really good fun. So it is a balance to be sought during the dog's early age. We give them enough experience, good experience around dogs and people that are now not frightened of them. I think that people would have a lot better life with their dogs if they actually said, you know what, the good stuff from people should certainly happen to us. And if you're going to make the decision that your dog is going to play with other dogs on a regular basis, you need to default train them, and that's about restricting their access. Our little dog, Watson, was given the first year of her life unrestrained access to several other dogs in her life. And as such, she was a total nightmare when we got her, because she then couldn't see another dog and contain herself, because it was just, oh my god, there's another dog, and dogs are for playing with. So she then gets massively frustrated that she can't see the other dog. What then happens at that point is, with some owners, is that the dog starts lunging and barking, and they then start correcting them. And we went from a friendly, frustrated dog to an out dog that is potentially going to be frightened of other dogs because it thinks it's going to give them a hard time when a dog appears. So, but that's getting into other things again. So it's take your dog out and play with them. Don't take your dog out to the park to let them exercise with other dogs. If you want your dog coming back, you take him out and play with them over and over and over again, and play with them for a little bit, let him go for a sniff. He has a look at a dog, bring him back in, feed him, play with them, do cool stuff with them, just hang out with them. And the more that you do that, the more that will want to come back towards you. So it's recalls actually. it's one of my favourite things to train, but it's also super easy. Looking at if you look at it the right way, you know, and it's just restricting the dog, prevent the dog from doing things that you don't want them doing, and reinforcing things that you do want them doing. Which is
it's simple
not
yeah. It's simple when you explain it like this, but I think this is really beneficial because it's letting people see step by step by step what has to happen, you know, and you're setting a precedent at a very young early age, so you need to get it right, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot like childhood.
Yeah.
You know, just little furry people. Okay, let me show the last video here, and what's this one going to be?
So this is a young Staffordshire Cross, and the woman just adopted this dog not long, and she's super interested in other dogs.
I'll do most of this on her own, okay?
So Tilly's a role pound who's a big superstar. She comes in to say hi. Stop her there. She comes back in. It's a big game with Mum. There are several times here where she makes a choice to come back and re-engage with Mum rather than going in to see Tilly.
Re-engages with you?
Have a little look again. And that's why you see the legs in nice and get loose. So I'm not holding that dog on there. She's making the decisions to hold herself. If she doesn't make the decision, if she makes the wrong decision, I will prevent her from being reinforced for that. So I will use the love there, but I'm not holding her back the whole time. I'm giving her as much choice as we can so that she starts going, oh cool, it's this one. It's not, this is the only one you can do. Okay, so we're effectively setting up the dog to make the decision that we want her to make, and then reinforcing it. And every time she makes the wrong decision, we prevent access to reinforcement for that decision. Which is she did there. She pulled towards Tilly, and we said, no, you can't do that just now. But we said it without correcting her harshly and without shouting and telling her no. We just said, you can't do that one. And that was all done through relatively kind and handling.
Yeah. Oh, there's absolutely nothing forceful or aggressive or resistant in any of the stuff that we've seen at all. You know?
I mean, there's a couple of times we absolutely are stopping the dog from physically stopping the dog through the use of the leads, but there's a difference between a steward standing in front of you to prevent you getting access to a pub and him manhandling you down the stairs, you know. And then, you know, I mean, there's a huge difference to the way that we can prevent behaviour from happening, and we can do it relatively gently, just by putting up. I mean, you look at football grounds and stuff like that. All that is a physical prevention to stop the fans getting towards each other. There's nothing violent about that. There's nothing particularly forceful about it in it. But it does change behaviour. It changes behaviour because we can't do that one. So that's the way that I look at it there. And the better your lead handling is, the kinder it is in the dog.
I love it. I love it. And again, another example of, I think, the key is being, it's a cooperation. It's a synergistic relationship. It's about attentiveness. It's about paying attention to your dog. What was interesting in the last video, especially, was letting the dog stare and look at other distractions, and then it gets to decide when it turns its attention back. So get back to your point about getting the dog's attention, or you know, the dog decides to come back to you, and then gradually realizes that coming back to you is the best place to be.
Yeah. Now there's that's setting the dog up with as much freedom as we can there. There's going to be some times where we will have to step in and intervene. So if she was staring too long, or the other dog was coming in, I might help her out by calling her name or smacking my lips or rustling the bag of treats or something like that, okay? So I can certainly try and help her out. If it's unsafe at that point, so if there's a dog that's shown body language that's not particularly friendly or whatever, I will physically move that dog because I'm not going to put her in a position that she's going to be harmed or she's going to make a serious training mistake or behaviour mistake. Okay, so this is not really, we're not letting the dog do whatever she wants, whenever she wants. There are rules to this, but we can say these are the rules, and I'm going to help you understand what they are. And when you make that choice, I'll make it worth your while. And she starts wanting to make those choices, you know. And if she's reinforced well 90% of the time from us for re-engaging with us around dogs, and she's only reinforced 10% of the time for playing with other dogs. Under those same circumstances, she will come back to us 90% of the time. Okay, so it's you want to fill your dog's behavioural repertoire with good stuff, and so they don't want to do anything. So it's with my big boy dog. Everything that I do with him when I'm out is me and you, pal. It's me and you. We're out here together and we're doing. I'm not interested in speaking to people. I'm interested in coming out and spending time with you. And as a result of that, he wants to spend time with me. The other thing as well, you see it in the first videos with Debbie and Rocky. If we stand still, the dog can tend to stand still. If you walk towards your dog will tend to walk away from you. If you walk away from your dog will tend to come with you. So what happens is that people will see their dog starting to trot towards the other dog and will then chase them, but what you're effectively doing is backing them up and pushing them on. Whereas if you shout, oh, come on, let's go, and run in the opposite direction, you've got a much greater chance of getting the dog to go, oh cool, we're going that way, and coming with you. You know, but people, what happens is they stand still and shout at the dog and don't move their bodies. We need to move our bodies, we need to move our feet.
That's just genius. I love these little subtle, tiny little distinctions, but when you describe them, you suddenly kind of go, ding, it's obvious. Brilliant. You know, the webinar we did a while ago was on dogs jumping up on you, and it was really quick solution, really quick fix, and obvious when you think about it. And this is the same. It looks as if, you know, it's pretty straightforward. It's a system, it's a formula, it's step by step. Anyone can learn it, anyone can apply it. There's certain rules to the game, but if you know the rules to the game, like everything else in life, you know, you can play it. So it's fascinating.
It's just understanding how behaviour is built, and the more we understand how behaviour is built, the better we'll be at building those behaviours. The other question that people ask is when do we get the dog off the long line? And what I say to people as a kind of rule is, if you're having a discussion and somebody says, when was the last time you had to physically use that line to stop your dog from leaving? Or you have to physically go and get your dog. And when you turn around and say, it's been weeks and weeks, that's a time for you to start saying, under those circumstances, I could probably start taking the line off. And it's not an all or nothing. We can always put the line back on and do more training. Or we can shorten the line, or we can take the dog out. And I've done this with Watson. If it's relatively quiet, I will take her off the lead. But if there's other dogs around, I'll put her back on that line and let her trail it. And with this training, I have recalled Watson from chasing other dogs and from chasing deer and foxes with this training. So it is possible, and it's possible without using an electric collar, which a lot of people don't think that it is. But we've had this recall from dogs for hundreds of years. You know, people that have hunted with their dogs or done herding with their dogs and stuff. They've got a good recall, and all of that is done off lead. But this is the easiest way that I've found it. If people don't use the long line, then what we've got is, at the same time we're trying to build a history of the dog coming back to us, the dog is continuing to build a history which is already there of going to see other dogs. So both of them are increasing rather than one of them staying stationary, which is the old behaviour, and the new behaviour increasing and eventually taking over it. So it's the easiest way that I've found to do it, and it works. It works if you do it. I know it works if you do it because I've done it so many times. I've done it with my own dogs.
Brilliant, love it, beautiful. I love it. So if somebody is suitably inspired by what they've seen tonight, and they maybe want to get your input on their particular situation, their particular dog, or maybe they've got a new puppy and they desperately need to get someone in, or maybe they're thinking about getting a new puppy. It's probably a better time to do it. How do we get in touch with you? How would someone take that further?
So the best way is through my website, which is glasgowdogtrainer.co.uk. You can contact me through Facebook as well. So if you search Glasgow Dog Trainer and Behaviour Consultant on Facebook, the website is the easiest way to get in touch with me, because you can just fill out the contact form and send that to me. We do one-to-one training across the Glasgow area, and I also do Skype consultations. So even if you're watching this from abroad, if you're still having problems, then we can organise a Skype consultation, such as we can just do the same here. You would set some video up, upload it, I'll have a look at it, and talk through it at the same time, and I can give you some. That's not ideal because I'm not there to coach you through your handling, but it's what we can offer to people who are in Glasgow.
That's excellent. Excellent. No, listen, fantastic. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I don't have a dog anymore, but you're getting me in the mood. I'm getting moody. But yeah, superb, fantastic. Okay, we will be meeting again to discuss other similar issues that you can fix rapidly. But again, thank you for your time. I love you just make things really complex tasks and break them down into really simple steps, which I love, love, love. So thank you for your time tonight, and we will catch you again sometime soon.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good night. See you later.